Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. Yeah, this is Elio Piedra, and you are watching and enjoying Morning Coffee with Elio. Today, we're going to be talking about the entertainment industry. And for that, I have a good friend of mine, and he's the owner of an awesome agency from Las Vegas that is called Rojas Talent Group. But all of this and more is coming after this. Stay right there because you're about to get inspired, to get motivated, and we're gonna grow together with my friend Edwin Rojas. Stay right there. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Welcome back, and we are here with our friend Edwin Rojas, owner of Rojas Talent Group, a celebrity booking agency based in Las Vegas, specializing in brokering personal appearances for celebrities, athletes, and Hollywood talent. They also produce shows and provide entertainment to casinos, resorts, theaters, performing arts centers all around the United States, corporate events, and the cruise ship industry. Welcome, Edwin, to Morning Coffee with Elio. How you doing, my brother?
Good morning, Elio. A little cafecito with you. Thank you for inviting me.
No, I feel very honored to have you here, and you are ready with your morning coffee. Look at you.
Yeah, gotta have coffee.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
need my
right?
two espressos every morning to get going.
Wow. So that means that you are Cuban. You have something going on with the Cuban roots, right?
Cafecito con water. When I was a kid, I always remember my dad making coffee off an old cafetera. I don't know what they're called, the Italian ones that you put on top of the stove and it percolates. Every hour there was coffee in the house. Every single hour. It's in the genes.
Is it? Yes, yeah, they are there. That is awesome, Edwin. And again, I am very thankful with you, for having you and to talk about your career, to talk about the entertainment industry and the impact that this situation it is having, I will say around the world. And Las Vegas, it is a huge part, of the entertainment industry in the
Yeah.
United States. But now let's start talking about Edwin Rojas. Okay, so
Okay.
you started working at sea during college as a guest entertainer in for the Norwegian cruise line. How
Yep.
did this happen?
Wow, it's a long story. I was a very shy kid, and my mother knew that I needed to break out of being shy. So she went to a magic shop and she bought me some tricks. And I started doing the tricks, and I realized, wow, I make people happy, and I really enjoyed it, making putting smile on people's faces. And then I realized that once I had maybe 20, 30 minutes of material, I started doing shows in my grandfather's garage, and I said, wow, I'm making money doing something I really enjoy. My friends were working at McDonald's, and I said I can do one show in a week and make more money than they do the whole week. So that was a motivator. I was like, wow, I'm making money doing something I really love. And then I started. Somebody said I lived in Miami. I was born in Miami. I lived in Miami my whole life, and I saw these ships sailing. And everybody said every one of those ships has entertainers on it, and I never even really thought of that. So I started. This is pre-internet, so I was knocking on their doors, mailing them resumes, mailing them pictures. And finally, one said, would you like to come on for a couple of weeks? And I said, sure. And it was Norwegian Cruise Line. And I worked And that was right after I had graduated high school that same summer. So I was out for 2 months working for them. Then I loved it. Came back to do college. I went to Florida International University, Miami. Then every summer, I would still work on the ships. When I graduated with a degree in business, in my mind, I thought I like working the ships too much. So I started working the ships full time. And then one day, a cruise director said, you know, you have the personality to do what I do. I said, and I just shook my head, sure, okay. But I was a night owl. I would go to bed around 6 or 7 in the morning, sleep all day, wake up, have dinner, and then stay up all night. And I knew, in the morning, you know, I was still up and I saw this cruise director having breakfast. I said, oh, he's probably gets up at 6 or 7 in the morning. I said, I can't do that. And that's a stupid little thing. I thought, oh, I can't do what he did. But I always enjoyed the business side more than the performing side. I like getting the gig, and I did the gig, and I love doing the gig, and I love making people happy and smiling and making them laugh, but I like getting the gig better. So I realized I like the business side more than the performance side. And when I realized a cruise director is basically all show business. It's the business putting on the show. And I did that for 20 years. I worked for Norwegian Cruise Line in the 80s. I worked for Holland America Line in the 90s. In the 2001, I went over to Celebrity Cruises. Then I went into their office in 2005 for 3 years, booking all the entertainers. And then in 2008, with the big recession before the one we're in right now, and no one's calling it a recession now too, but it is,
Yes.
they let us all go. And they brought in all people half our age at half the money. And I said, I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do. And I started my own company in 2009. And here we are today. And the whole thing's, you know, when this whole thing happened in March, I couldn't believe it. I was in denial for a month because I just couldn't believe it. And now you
Yeah.
look back, it's been 4 months as of today or so. And Broadway's still closed. The West End in London still closed. There's really no live entertainment. They're trying to do shows now at drive-ins, but that's not sustainable. There's no way they can make enough money to even pay the road crew for that. So I don't know. They're just trying to keep the brand going for AEG, or I think it's AEG that's doing it. But I don't know. It's every day I'm on the phone with entertainers that I've booked. All the contracts have been canceled for this year. We're hoping hopefully it comes back in January, and hope that we make it till then somehow. You know, everyone's strong and going forward. The government in England just put 1.2 billion pounds in the entertainment industry, but the government here hasn't done anything for anybody yet. I hope everybody's getting unemployment, whatever, to make ends meet till the shows start again. But as you know, being an entertainer, people need to laugh. People need to leave their house. People need to see other people having a good time. People want to sit in a room and experience either a concert or a play or a comedian or a band. So we're all hoping it comes back bigger, stronger, and better than ever.
Yes, I wanna go back when you said that you used to actually make more than your friends working at McDonald's. How much you
Yeah.
used to make as a because you
Oh,
were a
I don't.
magician? It was a magician
I
or
was a
what
I
type?
was a magician. Yeah, and I
Okay,
was making, I would do a kid's birthday party for I believe $50, and my friends were probably making 30, $40 working a whole week at McDonald's. I said, wow, it's almost double the amount. And I'll always remember a time I had to talk with my dad, and at a moment I realized at that time I was working the cruise ships, like I'm making more money than my father's ever made. It's like, wow, it's crazy.
yes, that's
Yeah,
unbelievable. And now
yeah,
and you're right. And now we have this problem that that we don't know. We don't know what is gonna happen. We just gotta go with the flow, do whatever we can with what we have.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
you mentioned something that is you are totally right. It's not only about the money, but about bringing those experiences that people are missing. Going out, getting together with your
yeah,
family, with your best friend, going to Broadway, going in the cruise ship.
yeah.
My mentor actually just posted a picture on Facebook a year from now that they went to the biggest cruise ship in the world, and
Uh-huh.
oh my goodness, they spent like almost a month in that cruise ship,
Wow.
and yeah, and they actually they enjoy many different acts in the different music styles, different
Sure.
entertainers. It's amazing. So I think that's the main reason. Do you? Oh, actually, let me ask you. Do you think that's the main reason why everybody's very very stressed? Very stressed out right now with all this situation.
I think it's one of them, Elio. I mean, a lot of people, are a quarter of the people are unemployed. So they're all saying, how am I going to make ends meet? How am I going to pay my house, how am I get food for my family, how am I going to pay the car, and then the and you get some relief from the government if you're doing unemployment, or some companies say stay home and we're paying you anyway, whatever it may be. So but then you have the stress of, I mean, my sister's 65 years old and has severe asthma. She's in Miami. She hasn't left her house since the first week of March, because she knows if she gets this, she's a goner, so there's the financial stress, the family stress, no matter how much you love your family, if you're cooped up in a, let's say, 1,500 square foot house with 4 kids and your wife or your husband, after a while, it's like, I just need to see something different. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. When the restaurants opened up here, that first weekend, my wife and I, we had our mask on, but we went to a coffee shop, our favorite coffee shop, just to sit down and see other people. It's like, oh my God, get out of the house after
Yes.
90 days. And then we've been to a couple restaurants. My birthday was this last month, and our anniversary. We went out, and some of the service isn't as good. The menus are more limited. They serve you the food sometimes in a plastic plate. Like if you sit at a bar here, well, now the bar's closed again this week. But if you sat at a bar, and if they had the gaming tables on top, the poker machine or whatever, it was governed by the gaming board. So the gaming board said they couldn't serve food on china. It had to be on plastic plates. So you feel everything's not as good as it used to be, And now I
That's
just hope we don't close. At first they said that all the Cirque du Soleil shows were going to open up May 1st. Then it went to June 1st. Now we're in July, and there's no end in sight. Maybe we're saying August 15th, and I don't see it happening. I just don't see how, And then they say they'll open up, but the theater, instead of having 2,000 people, will only have 1,000 people. Well, if you're a producer, if you're Cirque du Soleil and MGM, who produce the shows in conjunction, you need probably 60 to 65% of the people there just to make your nut, to break even. The last 35% is your profit. If you're half capacity, you're losing money. So are you still going to open up, or just say, forget it, we're closed till we have a full audience? And when does that full audience happen? When they have a vaccine or whatever? That could be Q1, Q2, maybe even Q3 of next year. Who knows? I mean, we're all hoping for the best, but like Broadway, same thing. Broadway needs 65% of the house to make money. If New York says you can open January 1st, but only at 50%, and you're a producer, say, I'm still going to lose a couple $100,000 a week, I'm not doing it. I'll stay closed.
yes.
So there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of anxiety because of that.
And now that you mentioned that the government, you start talking about the loans that the government are giving to
Yeah,
support the small, especially small businesses like restaurants and like that.
sure.
But obviously, and I want to ask you this because you probably know better this than myself. How much help the entertainment industry has been given from the government?
Well, I know a lot of people. I have a couple of friends that have agencies with 4 or 5 people in Miami and South Florida, and they took what they call the PPP loan because you have employees. The government gave you 2.5 months of money to keep them employed, but they got that money 3 months ago, so pretty much it's over now. So now it's going to be very interesting what happens from August going forward. Uh, I have a company where, and many people in we brokers, so we have no employees. Like I booked Elio Piedra to do a 4-hour appearance at a casino in Georgia. Well, I book you at whatever it is. I put a little money on top of it. I buy, sell, and I pay you with a 1099. So you're not my employee. So I don't have any money coming from the government. So luckily for me, at least in Nevada and Las Vegas, they had what they call self-employed people help, PUA, PUA, whatever it was, and it's a little bit of help. So, and it helped me out. It paid my mortgage, so at least we're okay for now.
Yeah, it
And
is
still,
that
yeah,
what you're saying is similar to what they call the destruction, small business destruction, whatever, something like that.
right.
They have hundreds of names for that, but I think it's kind of that. I am interested in knowing how you start working with celebrities, how you start working, doing the bookings for all
Right.
these celebrities.
Well, when I left Celebrity Cruises in 2008, I think it was, I took a job for a year with a company called Berry Ball Artists. And they're the biggest talent agency for cruise lines in the world, based out of Miami. And I would work in their office for 2 days a week and work from home the rest of the time. And my whole job there was he wanted to expand his brand, his company, to bring in casinos, events, and not just be dependent on the cruise line industry. So like right now, he's hurting. That all he does is cruise lines. There's nothing coming in. But for entertainment, there's nothing coming in anyway. But anyway, so I brought in the Seminole Tribe of Florida. They had a couple casinos in South Florida, Hard Rock, Hollywood, Seminole Coconut Creek Casino in Broward County, just north of Fort Lauderdale. And I was selling him some entertainers or whatever. And the lady that was in charge there at that time, she goes, you know, you're really, really good and passionate about what you do. And I go, thank you. She goes, you should work for yourself. I go, well, that's interesting. Thank you. And I walked away from that meeting. I thought, I should work for myself. And so I went home and it ate away in my brain. Why am I not working for myself? And I started crunching numbers and I go, if she just from her business, I could probably break even and make a living, and I'm going to get something else, and that'll be my gravy. So I went back to her a month later. I go, if I did my own business, would you give me your business? And she goes, 100%. That night I went home. I registered as a corporation. 4 months later, I resigned and I started my own company. And then I realized most of their requests weren't for a band or weren't for a magician or a comedian. Most of they wanted a TV star to host blackjack tournament or a roulette tournament or a poker tournament. And then that side of my business grew more and more and more. And now it really is, it's almost like 50% of my business. Cruise ships are 50%, which I spent 20, 25 years in that industry. And celebrity appearances are the only 50%, and the other 50% is celebrity appearances. So I've had like from Nicole Kidman to Bob Balaban, who was in E.T. and he was in Jurassic Park. I've had Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, every year goes out for me. Many, many stars, and they're all really nice people, and they go for 2 hours, 3 hours, do appearance. It's in and out, very easy. I rate contracts, get a check, and it's over. It's a lot less paperwork than cruise lines.
I am glad you mentioned that because I heard that it's really hard to book like a celebrity. So I wonder, for example, let's talk about let's say to book somebody like like Mario Lopez, for example, that actually just
Right.
by the way for our morning coffee community, this picture is from actually Rojas Talent Group. If you wanna go and check it out, we're gonna be sharing actually Rojas Talent Group website right here, simple rojalentgroup.com. You have it right there. And you can go and check it out. But anyway, I am interested. Let's say to book someone like Mario Lopez, how hard is it?
It's funny you picked Mario. That was the easiest one I've ever booked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually, I'll go back to Mario, but usually the casino says we're looking for one of these 10 people. So I reach out to their managers or their publicists of all those 10 celebrities, find out if they're available, if they want to work in a casino. Sometimes they don't want to be associated with a casino. That's few and far between. And then, of course, if they are available, what their price would be. So I say, these out of the 10 people you gave me, these 4 people are available. These are their fees, and they're open that date. Who do you want? And they say they want John Smith. I go back to John Smith's agent or manager or publicist, say they like to book them. This is the fee they're offering, business class tickets, hotel for 2 nights, yay or nay. And then we go from there. Mario Lopez's personal appearance manager called me and said, Mario's in South Florida. Do you have anything for him? I go, give me an hour. I called the Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. They said, we'll take them on that date. Excellent. And within an hour, we were in contract. It was the easiest one ever. And it's funny you chose him.
Yes, no. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, Mario is amazing, and he obviously he has Latin roots, so
yeah,
we are very proud of that, and
yeah,
I always follow Mario, and actually next to Mario we have Nicole Kidman, and
yes,
Nicole, I think recently she went to the Jimmy Fallon show, and it was super funny because I mean she was talking about a story with Jimmy and all of that happened in New
right.
York, being I don't know, it was like sweethearts or something like that. I don't know, it was kind of like a joke, but she,
Okay.
for example, for somebody to book someone like Nicole Kidman, how does it takes? I mean, how hard is it?
That was a hard one.
Really?
Actually, yes, because first of all, she wanted to do it, then she didn't want to do it, then her money increased by a lot, and then part of the deal was she had to have a private plane, and the Seminole tribe that she did the grand opening of the Hard Rock Tampa just in the October of last year, actually. So it's 8 months, 9 months ago. And then she couldn't do it because the plane wasn't available. And then the casino really wanted her because her husband was going to be the first performer there the next night.
Oh
So the
wow,
casino
yes.
thought we'll get both of them. But the thing is, that they were in two separate areas of the world. It was two private planes. Anyway, at the last minute, it all came together. And the tribe didn't have to send their plane. She had her own plane, but they had to buy out the flight. It was a lot of money, a lot of back and forth. That was probably the most difficult one, but the most rewarding because they loved her. So once she was there, the next day I contacted the person that booked her. I go, "How was she?" And I was thinking, "Oh, I hope she wasn't, too demanding or whatever." I said that she was the nicest person in the world. We loved her. We'd have her back any day. I said, "Oh, that's terrific."
Well,
Yeah, that was yeah,
actually, yeah, I was watching that show, that interview, and she was so kind, so
yeah.
humble, so nice. So I'm glad
from
you
the from the
mentioned it.
pe- yeah, from the people that interacted with her in Tampa at the Hard Rock, they all said the same thing. I talked to three different people, and they said she couldn't have been nicer. That was everything. She could not have been nicer. I go, wow, because sometimes at that level they have their manager in the way or somebody else, and it's a little touch and go. But it was wonderful. She had a great time, and they had a great time with her.
And now talking about qualities and all of this, what is one thing that you need to see in any celebrity or any band, any act to say, I want to book this person, I want to book this band. I'm gonna actually share another, of your bands so people
Uh
can.
huh. Sure.
So
I
mention
I
one
think
thing.
uh, being a people person. I think, like on the cruise ships, especially, like if you're a band and you do your show in a nightclub tonight, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you break down, you go home, you never ever see those people again. However, if you're on a cruise ship, you're going to live with those people for a 3-day cruise or a 7-day cruise. So I know many incredible actors, I shouldn't say actors, performers that are incredible on stage, but not really friendly off stage, and they do so so. I know many performers that are so so on stage, but are super friendly off stage, and the cruise lines love them because they're always with the guests having a coffee or chatting with them in the library or whatever it may be. And with bands, it's the same thing in a casino. Okay, you do your show, but that audience doesn't walk away. They're going to be there for another day or whatever. Or let's say a celebrity appearance. It's basically being nice to people for 3 hours or 4 hours, having your picture taken, hosting the blackjack tournament, or hosting, a drawing out of a drum, picking something up. So you're dealing with people all the time. So it's not like you do a Hollywood movie in front of a camera, you really don't deal with anybody, and you're the world's greatest actor. But you have to be the world's greatest actor that interacts and really likes people to make it happen.
Yes, because there is some actors that they are the best, but when they are actually engaging with the audience, they are really
Yeah.
not that outgoing.
Yeah.
So people they
Yep.
are like, "Oh, I don't really like you." I thought,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know.
But Al Pacino is my favorite actor in the world, and I try to book him, and I've never met the man, so I can't say. But his manager, sorry, he does no personal appearances. I said, okay, that's fair, you know. So he doesn't
Wow.
do any personal appearances, but he doesn't have to. But I try.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
you keep trying.
Exactly. So I wanted to ask you, what is the biggest challenge that you have to face as a producer, and why?
As a producer, as producing shows, you mean?
Yes.
Well, one of the reasons I moved to Las Vegas was to start a show here in a theater. And every time I came right to the finish line to get the theater, well, I had one show running downtown and we weren't making any money. So we had a 6 month contract. When the casino came and gave us another 6 month contract, I said, no, it's too much work not to make any money. And we walked away. And that was probably 4.5, 5 years ago. And I still been trying to find it. It's really hard to find a theater. It's like if you are in the musical business in New York, there's 32 or 35 theaters, and there's probably 50 shows trying to find a home, trying to find a theater. Same thing here. There's probably 20, 25 shows ready to go, fully funded, have the team ready, the publicist, um, the ticket salesperson, everything, but we can't find a theater. Uh, in my mind, I think with this COVID-19 thing, it might be a blessing in disguise. We're going to go through a really rough patch, but a lot of shows that weren't making it probably aren't going to make it and not come back. And there might be a lot of space in theaters. Now, the flip side to that is maybe it's going to take a year to a year and a half for the same crowds to come back to Las Vegas. I mean, from my house, I used to look out at night and you'd see 10 planes in a row ready to land. Now you
Wow.
see one every half hour, maybe. It's so I said, yeah, the casinos are open, but there's no planes, and without planes, there's nobody coming in. Okay, the weekends are busy from all the Los Angeles people, but people from Middle America aren't coming here in droves yet. And it's going to be a while.
Wow. That's uh that's amazing. I mean, how
Oh, Elio, when they first locked it down, I told my wife, let's go. It was a Friday afternoon. And usually Friday, it's bumper to bumper traffic on the strip, like I-95 in Miami or Times
wow.
Square, maybe not as bad as Times Square. And it was a ghost town. It was so creepy. Uh, Barricades in front of every casino with the police with their lights on in front of every casino, so no one would do anything stupid. Nobody walking the streets, only local cars, no foreign, no plates from other states. And you looked around, and it was just the weirdest. It looked like a Hollywood soundstage on a Friday at 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Wow. And for you,
Yep.
how does it feel for you? I mean, to being a producer, to be working with celebrities full time around people. You are a people person.
Like
You are
you.
like me. Yeah, you're right. A cafecito person. So,
Oh, gotta
how,
finish.
yeah, exactly. So, how does it feel for you to see your own town, your own the heart, one of the heart of the entertainment industry, kind of like falling apart because of this situation? How does it feel for you?
I never in my life would have thought I would see something like this. I mean, you would think, okay, the economy goes down, there's less shows, people coming in, you got to drop the prices maybe. Instead of having two shows in a night, they'd have one show. But to say dark, nothing's open, no shows, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't around in 1918 during the other plague that we had in this country around the world, but I mean, I would think it would be the same thing. But it's just, but then I got to go back to 1918 was the Spanish flu or whatever they want to call it. Um, but as soon as 1918 was over, from 1918 to 1928, 1930 was the biggest expansion of theaters in North America,
Wow.
especially Broadway. Most of Broadway theaters were built then. And it's just like prohibition. You couldn't drink, you couldn't drink, you couldn't drink. Once the prohibition was rescinded, people went out and had the party of a lifetime. I think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be pent up demand. And I think you want to go see a show. I mean, Garth Brooks is supposed to open up the new Raiders Stadium middle of August. They haven't canceled it yet, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just read somewhere that NFL's most likely going to start all the NFL games without an audience, which means you're not going to have 60,000 people sit to see Garth Brooks in the new Raiders Stadium. So, but I know we have a friend that has tickets already. She goes, I just want my money back otherwise. But I think there's going to be so much pent up demand. I mean, I hope. I mean, you just got to hope. You're going to want to see a show. You're going to want to see a play. You're going to want to see a band play as you're having a beer with your friends or something. You're going to want to see something live that makes you, an emotional experience.
Yeah, actually, I want to share with you some a few words by one of my favorite artists, Alicia Keys.
Oh,
She was actually sharing this, and trust me, I really really admire Alicia Keys as a musician, as a human being that she is. So let's
I
see.
think what's crazy is we've all, we probably all thought that 2020 was going to just go differently than it has. And I feel that same thing even with the music. Even with the music that I've created, I thought it was going to go a certain way, and I wanted it to go away. In my mind, I had it arranged how it was going to happen, and then all these things have happened to all of us. And I think we're all seeing that it might not be what we thought it was going to be or wanted it to be or wished that it could be. Right now, it's like we all have to stop and listen. So it's kind of nuts because I find that's happening to me with the music as well. It's like right now it's not about what I thought I wanted to do and how I thought I saw it happen. It's like I have to listen to what is needed and follow it. Just follow it. It's kind of been incredible to just do that and trust that.
Isn't that
she said
unbelievable?
it. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. You don't you just go day by day because you don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
This was going to be for business wise. I had the most incredible year lined up. I had so many contracts in the spring and now in the summer, and they've just all disappeared in the ether. They're gone. And so we're plugging away. It's all nuts, as Alicia Keys says. It's all nuts.
exactly. Excuse me. And now you say day by day, and I agree with you. I can agree with you more on that because before this, we had as entertainers, as producers and agents. I bet like all these goals and all these dreams and all these amount of
Uh,
work, and now we go day by day to see what
yep.
happened next. What is the next news?
Otherwise, you go crazy. You just got
Exactly.
to go day by this. There was what was the line in the movie Martian? When I don't know the last scene, he's come back from Mars. Finally, he went through all that emotional stuff to survive, and he's teaching a course for other astronauts. And they said, and the question, and I'm paraphrasing, but they basically said, "How'd you get through it?" He goes, "I just saw one problem, took care of that one before I handled the other one. Otherwise, it's overwhelming." So same thing now, just one day at a time. Otherwise, it's overwhelming, and that's all you can do. And
Yes.
sooner or later, we're going to get out of this.
Yes, yes. And do you think we can explore different tools or expand another strategies if we still have ones to keep growing in times of COVID-19?
Absolutely. I have a client who's a magician. I just had him on the phone yesterday, and of course, zero's coming in. So he was I don't know if it's Zoom that he's using or what technology, but a Zoom type of thing. He's selling his shows to big corporations, and he just sold it to Johnson and Johnson, and they're going to have him do his
Wow.
shows, and they're beaming it to like all their sales offices around the nation, and they're paying him not as much as he performed live. But he said, but I think he's got 12 shows or 20 shows. I don't forget the number. But he says, I'll make a living for 2 months doing that. I was like, good for you. So that's thinking outside the box. But then I had
Nice.
a band in South Florida that was trying to do the same thing, but with music. There's a lag, there's a delay, and it's really hard to do the music remotely. So, and they were still trying to figure that, maybe even doing it and slicing it all together, but it wouldn't be live. So I'm not sure what they're doing, but
Yes,
it's
yes.
challenging. And for us that are in the live space, this is really TV. It's a different art. So we're all learning as we go.
Exactly. And actually, I would like to mention about an article that you sent me. And I want to thank you for that article. It's amazing, guys. If you're watching right now, Morning Coffee with Elio, first of all, like it and share it. This is a show. that entertainers and anybody from the entertainment industry, they need to watch. So you need to share it, and please leave your comment below. I am going to meet you down there at the comments if you want to know and learn more about Rojas Talent Group, amazing booking agency that work with celebrities, athletes. I mean, they do it all. And even though in these times they are gonna get in touch with you, if you have any questions, you wanna leave a comment. I know that Edwin, you don't have Facebook, but I can. But Edwin and Rojas Talent Group, they have Twitter. They have an amazing website that I shared a few minutes ago. So now I wanna actually touch base on this article because it's amazing. And actually, the last part, it is my favorite, when it said important because it's not hopeless. There is a Chinese course made these days of doubt and uncertainty provoke you to look outside of the boundaries of a once reliable box that no longer contains the answers. It is exactly what we've been talking about here.
Exactly.
And you know, I feel so good, you know, to have the opportunity to have someone like you, super active with over 10 years of experience, you know, being an entertainer yourself and then managing
No,
big
no, no.
celebrities.
I'm not that young. I have 40 years of experience. I'm 57. I started as an entertainer at 10, but I started my company 10 years ago. So yeah.
So yeah, but
I'm an old
your
man.
company. No, you're a baby still. You're a baby, and with that cafecito, come on.
Oh, that's a keeps it going.
Exactly, yeah, and bring that energy level right back up. So, before we go, how can we keep supporting live shows?
It's funny. I just put that sign in the back of my window in my car this week. It said #support live shows. I mean, as soon as shows start happening, I'm going to go out. Even if the band that I don't like, I'm just going to go out to support whomever it is, because most musicians, most performers have really been struggling, are really struggling right now. And when they come back, it's going to take a long while to, you know, to get the little money under their wings. So I'm going out to support them, be it a spoken word, be it a play, be it a Cirque du Soleil show, be it a band, be it a musician, whatever. I'm going to be there, and I hope you too.
Yes, yes. Actually, I am glad that you mentioned that, and that it says a lot about the human being that you are. You know, you are thinking about everybody else, not only you know, about your network, but you know, everybody around the world that is going or growing through this situation. But you know, I would like to expand a little more to give some ideas. If you really wanna keep supporting live shows now that we are all going through this situation, go to their websites, leave a comment, leave a review, leave a like, do something that that can help these businesses, these entertainment businesses, relevant. Because that's the other thing. I was talking to somebody that they own like a venue, and I was like, if you are gone, you disappear when all of this is gone, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be gone. This is not gonna be forever. You know, it's like problems. You know, and in Cuba we say no hay mal que dure 100 años. There is no bad time that lasts 100 years. Ni cuerpo que lo resista. So if you disappear when all of this is gone, and then you are gone with it. That makes sense? So I think it is really important. For example, what you're doing on Twitter all the time, supporting the entertainment industry, and sharing your opinion, just being there. The media presence is really important. That's just my opinion, my personal opinion, and it's working, at least for me. I have sponsors to promote. I have a family to feed. I am a people person that you said. I mean, for me, the most important thing is how you make people feel at the end of the day. I talked to a friend of mine the other day and say, man, I gotta tell you that it doesn't matter if you're a DJ, you're a magician, whatever you are, people will not remember. They won't even remember what you play, but how you make them feel. It's like when you go to a
restaurant. That's a great comment, Elio. That's so true. It's all about the person.
Yeah. And it's like when you go to a restaurant and you said, hey, how was it? You said, it was wonderful. Oh, it was horrible. Oh, I don't like that place. But you don't say, oh, I had salmon, this and that. You don't remember that.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
experience itself. That's why, I mean,
Absolutely.
for me, and I know like for you too, it is this time keep bringing that experience, those experiences for to the audience that is expecting us to do so.
Yes.
It is hard. It is super hard. But we're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep growing and learning. And I think that's the most important thing, to invest the time that we have, because I was actually reading the other day something from Miles Monroe that it is an amazing speaker that I love. He was saying that the only thing that every single human has in common is time, and what you do with it. Okay, and what you do with that time is gonna determine your final destination. That's why I am sharing the idea of, with this time, instead of complaining or doing this, doing that, because I know there is a lot of things that are wrong. There are a lot of things, but trust me, even having a conversation with someone like Edwin, you can learn from it. You can learn ideas. You can learn how to keep growing. And in this time. So I don't know if you would like to expand on that.
No, I think that's exactly it. And to get through this, like you said, I'm a hugger. I hug everybody. I can't wait to hug a stranger. It's like, oh, let's do a show. Let's have some fun and let me hug somebody.
Yeah, actually, that just to kind of like a joke, we have great neighbors, and we have the neighbors that they are not bad people, but they just don't care if you say hello or no. Well,
Yeah.
even those neighbors, they are say hello now.
That's true. That's
All right.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people are like, oh my God, I am just sick and tired of this thing. I
Yeah.
just want to hug somebody, say hello,
Right.
kiss somebody. It's just insane.
Sure.
But Edwin, I am so grateful that
Th-
with you for making the time.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And good luck with your show. And good luck
No,
with everything. Yeah.
yes, likewise. And guys, once again, this is morning. We're enjoying Morning Coffee with Elliot. We are here with Edwin Rojas, owner of Rojas Talent Group and amazing booking agency from Las Vegas. We are live from Las Vegas. I am amazed how clean and how everything it looks from Las Vegas. The weather. How is the weather? It looks like it's you have some
Ooh.
heat. Yeah.
The last, since Saturday, 110 every day. I think it's 106 today. It's a little cooler today. I walk 3, 4 times a week, and I finally walked this morning. But it's up there. It's the middle of summer. It is what it is. We have
Yes.
really, really cold winters and really hot summers. No
Yes.
snow though, usually.
Oh, awesome! Sometimes
Yeah.
we have when we have another guest, and it looks like cloudy. It looks like
Yeah.
darker because
Oh,
the
here it's
weather.
not a cloud in the sky, just bright and hot.
Florida, Florida.
Yeah.
Awesome, Edwin.
All
Thank you
right.
so much once again.
Thank you,
We're gonna
Elio.
Yes, we're gonna see you guys next time. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes. This is Morning Coffee with Elio. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full. Keep fighting and keep growing through these times. And again, leave your comment below because we're gonna meet you down there. Thank you so much. Gonna see you next time.
Pleasure. Take care. Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.